Today's class will discuss about Spring with annotations. How to use annotations in Spring MVC and core Java applications. Spring core also. Okay. Right click here, create a new Java project. Create a new Java project. Create a new web project. There are some annotations widely we use in Spring MVC called as request mapping. Request mapping. So what is this request mapping? Please write down. Yet request mapping is one of the most widely used Spring MVC annotation. Spring framework web bind annotation request mapping is an interface this annotation is used to map web request onto specific handler classes or handler methods. Web request onto specific handler classes or handler methods. Yet request mapping can be applied to the controller class as well as methods. How to use for the class level? At request mapping. At the class level I can use, and as method level also I can use. Okay. If I am making any controller, right, and also one more we will discuss later. At request mapping, that means when you send a request, to the MVC application, I want my controller should execute. Suppose if I send a request /emp, that means I'm sending a request to the controller with the name of /emp in the form of application will write down, right? In the form tag HTML write down in form tag action equal to /emp and method equal to post and username, first name, last name, mother name, father name, maiden name, everything. And click on submit button. If you click on submit button, it should perform some operation, right? It should perform some action. That action I'm going to give as a /emp. Okay. So this is the way. Please write down the syntax. /emp is the URI. For which this controller will be used. And also I can define, instead of extending a controller, right, I can extend a controller. /emp is the URI for which this controller will be used. Inside this controller I have one method. Okay. I can use request mapping for method level also, because if we say if I send a request, I want a method should execute, not in the class level. Value equal to /m1. Request mapping can be used with method to provide the URI pattern for which handler method will be used. Take the syntax. If I want to configure multiple requests or multiple URIs, I want to execute only one controller, right? I should go for value equal to slash m1 slash m2. Now this I can go for multiple requests. It means any request is coming from like a slash m1 slash m2, right? I can go for to display only one method, right? I should go for this one. Request mapping with HTTP method. So far we discussed about what? Request mapping with the class level,
method
level, and again passing multiple URIs. Now we'll discuss about HTTP method. When you want to perform different operations, based on the HTTP method used, we can use request mapping method variable to narrow down the HTTP methods for which this method will be invoked. Method 1. Here I can provide request method dot post. Okay.
Chaitanya, here can we use get also? Okay.
HTTP methods anyway, everything we can use it here. See here. Delete, get,
Okay.
options, patch, post, put, trace.
Okay.
Mostly we prefer to use in real-time scenario post method always. Please try to use post only always wherever you find.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And if you want, you can use multiple request methods, multiple request mapping HTTP methods. So for example, we say here me show a different example. It clears your answer, question?
Yes, Chaitanya. Yes. Clear answer.
Headers. We can specify the headers. We can specify the headers. We can specify the headers. That should be present to invoke the header method. That should be present to invoke the header method. Headers. See here, everything is string arrays. That's the reason I'm giving everything as a curly braces. See here, everything is string arrays. Consumes, header, method, post, params, everything. So that's the reason I'm going to give as a headers equal to name equal to J2ee. Or we can write down the queries also, like I can write down here anything. Or I can write down here, suppose this is what happened, this is being error. Insert in this one code. Okay. This is not required. Not required. Request mapping with producers and consumes. We can use header context type. We can use header context type. Sorry, content type. And accept to find out
Chaitanya, I can't hear you.
Oh, oh, I told
Oh,
me.
yeah.
I was not knowing. I told me.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
We need,
content type, until content type I wrote.
yeah. Content type, which is the my message. It wants in response. For clarity, a request mapping annotation provides produce and consumes variables where we can specify the request content type, request the content type for which method will be invoked on the response content type. So here there is a parameter called as producers. There I am going to use equals application or JSON application or XML. Please do this. Request mappings with at path variable. Request mapping annotations can be used to handle dynamic URIs where one or more of the URI value works as a parameter. We can even specify regular expressions for URI dynamic parameter. To accept only specific type of input. To accept only specific type of input. I have a method here, method 5, consider. With the parameter int id. Okay. Here I can use yet path variable inside the bracket. I can write down id. Again, outside I should declare as slash dollar id. This is called regular expressions. No, no. Okay, this is the way we can use get path variable. I'll get the path ID slash m method 4 slash number 123 employee ID. So I want to get this employee ID from there to here means I should use path variable. At request param. Sometimes we get the parameter in the request URL, mostly in get methods. We see the syntax. So basically when you write down a method, right, that method, if you want to say that method is a default method, right, you should write down a method called as default. It response body. If the value is empty for a method, if the value is empty for a method, it works as a default method for the controller class. Default method for controller class. So we can write down method in some method, we can write down default method. These are the different typical annotations we have where we can use Spring MVC annotations. Any questions so far?
No, Chaitanya.
Apart from this, there are some annotation stacks are available. That is called as at component, at service, at controller, at repository. At component is generic and can be used across application. At service is a annotate class at service layer level. It annotate the class as a service layer. At controller, annotate classes at the presentation layer level. Mainly we should use this one into the Spring MVC. Any questions so far? Suguna, Teju? We'll see the examples in the next class. So Spring MVC examples.